Let's double check. Last time I streamed, I was struggling a little bit with my stream keys. All right, it does show that I am live. Very good. My channel. Perfect. You're staring at my replay screen right now. Well, welcome everybody. This is Valcomer from Can't Counterpick Stupid. Today we are reviewing some matches from the Nexomania Development League, which had its first night of Season 5 last night. And so I thought I downloaded that file and I did not. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, as I now have this with both teams, Extrax, Magius. Oh, there's two Magius? Man, that makes it more difficult. Demi. Alright, pause this for a moment. At Yanthor, and at, honestly, our other team. I suppose I could do this. At Zephman, at Koteb, at Kage, at Ghost Dog, at Amon. Let's figure out who that 10th player was here. Yamura. Got it. Okay. We're going to edit that part out, is my goal. For the sake of the VOD later. Oh, I pushed a button that I didn't mean to on my keyboard. We have even more to edit out. All right. And here we go. Okay. First off, Alterac Pass. I will say that it can be, particularly at lower levels, a good map for split pushing. I mean, that's always good, but I think you get more value as you are in the lower ranks. Now, I like the global of Dahaka. I like the global of Falstad. I like the poke of Chromie. ETC, we could take a global. Looking at everything, I kind of hope we take Mosh, but we'll see. I really like the split push potential of our red team with Sylvanas Illidan or with Sylvanas Sonya. And we have three, I mean, even 3.5 really good campers on that side. I'm not really sure which direction this one will go strictly off of the heroes. I'm not super familiar with the players. I do know a few of them, but there's more that I don't know than that I do know. So I think Illidan gets to be really slippery if the ETC can hit him with a power slide and a Haka can follow up or Anduin can follow up, that may let the Illidan just run wild. But he could get a lot of value just from the self-sustain that he has. So let's unpause and see how everything lines up here. All right, Koteb, I see that you're in the watch party voice channel with me, but it's also echoing back, so I need you to mute for me. Okay. Back into heroes. So, anybody who's played against me knows that I am all for the cheese. If we have Sylve, I think that there's plenty of reason to send Sylve off into another lane to get some chip damage. Even if that's just Sylve and Sonya down there. Now, as far as level 1s, Falstad wants to stack, but it's not off of heroes, and Chromie definitely wants to stack on heroes, and so they like the level 1 fight. Everyone on the side of red team does not need to stack, so you don't need the level 1 fight in the middle. You could very easily just be off in lanes instead. That was a good slide out, Yanthor. I'm glad you didn't die for that. As a tank, it's not your responsibility to be out here in the lane trying to clear. You can, right? ETC is not terrible wave clear, particularly once level 7s come online. He's got some options there, but it's not your requirement. One advantage that the red team definitely has in this draft is the campers that they've got. Ooh, nearly cleared. I loaded up the wrong overlay pack. I'm on the Ali OBS. I should have loaded the Spazzo, but that's okay. I would have liked to, in that engage, Zephman, possibly seen you shut off the towers and see if you can get just a little bit more damage into the ETC. Now, blue team actually capped their objective sooner. Now this is going to work out really well for blue team. Really well for red team. Red team, I'm impressed you got the kill. You didn't necessarily need to go for it, but your wave is clearing fairly free because of how it lined up against the wall. If that was intentional and we held it, great. If it just happened to work out, so be it. Right now, with one dead, we should push. Sending Illidan top against a Haka who's relatively gank proof, particularly without the stuns necessary to lock him down. I would rather have seen Illidan here on the wall, or having Mei join the team and help push, just to be able to get more out of that. So we killed Anduin and we could have pushed forward. So I want to check out experience here. Minions in favor of our red team by a fair amount. That's the one thing I would say to try to be very careful with blue team is minion experience. We never want to lose anything. I realize it's super close. We're ahead now because of the bottom lane not getting picked up by red team. Extra X, you're using a lot of mana is the short version. Let's see, do we see your tap? If your tap's available, so the objectives spawn at 3 minutes with the exception of Praxis holdout. And so we want to, for everybody, we know that it's going to be 3 minutes. We know that taps take 2 minutes to refresh. So taps before 1 minute are essentially free. You will, and this sounds like an exaggeration, I get it. You will win games strictly off of tapping more frequently. The amount of time that your tap is on cooldown does nothing for you. Now, yes, having stuff timed, whether it's a camp or a tap for when you really need it, is good. But if you'll just tap more, I promise you'll get more wins off of that simple thing. Dimmy, glad to have you in the chat. I think Anduin can be a great hero. You definitely want to spend a little bit of time either sitting back or more on the side, just so that you're not collateral damage. Oh, Magius. Magius dies, right? Yeah. So, Zephman, good call here. You got the kill. We just start sieging. That is a correct choice. Even if all we do is chip down one cannon tower, we do want to focus fire a little bit and say, hey, let's get on cannon tower. Now, the one negative is we needed Koteb to be down here, but the idea of, hey, we got to kill, let's just kill the closest building is huge and will win you games also. I kind of like that we're ignoring the objective. It's just fine on Alterac Pass to not cap the objective early and to even let it go, potentially. Oh. Big tongue. Koteb gets 10s, goes right for it. Good mind control. So in that fight, we saw our red team get 10s and essentially just send it immediately. And just that decisiveness probably won them that fight. And I realize it's not a huge win. They didn't kill 5 people, but they knocked out the healer and immediately were able to cap off of it. I don't know that blue team will be able to turn this around, and it looks like blue team is just giving, which is a fine call to make. So blue team, what I want you to do in that scenario in the future is be cognizant of, okay, are we going to win the race to 10? If not, we need to start backing up so that they can't fight. Now, honestly, you are Chromie, you got your ult at level 8. Same idea with Varian. When we get our ult at level 4, we want to be able to use that advantage because it's a very difficult cleanse on Rhaegar to cleanse out the Chromie time stop. If you loop, or time stop, temporal loop, if you loop Rhaegar, he actually can't. Oh. So they do get it off of the Chromie there. Snowball cannon misses. Oh, ETC. I love that light bomb just from a give him the shield aspect. Oh, oh. I like the aggression aim on, which is Yamura. Alright, so... Oh, Illidan to send it at 10. Yeah, it was a great call to just, as soon as you hit 10, go for it. So, blue team, we had a good defense. We did lose a lot on middle. Now, middle is a priority lane on this map. One, because these camps are experience. Every time we can cap the camp, we want to. We can see mercenaries super even right now, but every time we can cap that, we want to from an experience perspective. The other reason why mid is a priority lane is if we can eliminate mid and reduce the enemy ability to tap, we have an advantage on both sides, not just on one side. Ooh. Big there, ETC's out. Okay, so now we should know they're down an ult. Down here, I'm hoping that Chromie also said that another ult was used. Oh, if Honestly gets out of this, well, he doesn't get out, but he does bait the trade, so. But blue team, if you see some big ults like Mind Control, like Leap are used, we can get together and counter engage in that scenario. Yeah, I'm assuming you got the kill there, Extra X, with the Lightning Rod, which is a great way to play against Illidan. In fact, if you had gone Lightning Rod build, I would be completely fine with that. Oh, yikes. I'm surprised you're alive. Sonya, in that scenario, if Falstad's too close to the wall, because Falstad doesn't have vision over the wall, just leap. Because unless they have just insane reaction time, you're going to get the stun. Leap is that 1.25 stun. Oh, does she get out? I didn't think so. Yanthor, same idea. Just send the Mosh. I am a big proponent with ETC on Mosh that solo Moshes are always acceptable. Just take the kill. If you know it's going to end in a kill, solo Mosh them. No problem. The Light Bomb was a little early, Dimmy, but the idea was exactly what you wanted. Get that additional stun, get the shield to ETC. So it was close to perfect. And you did mention in chat that Anduin is a new hero for you, so you'll develop that timing. Don't stress on it. You're doing great. Red team, while yes, you were pushing and getting some value, I would have liked to have seen you potentially engage up 16s. 16 is one of the most impactful talent tiers in the game. I would say it's generally the third most impactful behind level 10s and then level 20s. So, but we got a fort. We got great damage by chipping some of the wall here. And we need to decide how we're defending. Illidan, you are a global, essentially. I realize it's a pseudo-global. Next time I'd like to see Koteb, you sit in the top lane and clear until we know where the enemies are. Good heal. Good root. Illidan got stunned. Okay. Ooh. So I'm going to back this up. Right here, we're going to pause for a moment. I want to look at you, Yanthor. All right. You've got Mosh. I know that. I would love to see slide. So right here, the gust went out defensively. I would love to see you slide and mosh. ETC's Rockstar trait, so heroic abilities grant 60 armor. 50 armor means that it takes 200% of normal damage to kill you. 60 armor, I haven't done the math, but if it takes 200% to kill you at 50 armor, now you're somewhere in that 225, 230% of normal damage to kill you. At that point, dive the tower, hit the mosh, and the gust somewhat sets you up there. So, all right, zoom this back out. But we've evened up the map. Chromie is dead. We saw them because of the vision of the minion there. We know they're in here. We have Gust. I realize it's exciting to potentially be like, oh, I'm going to Gust them off of this and steal it. I really hope we don't see you try that because you are outnumbered 5-1. Oh. Koteb here. Yep. Rip it, but rip it when he was closer to here. I really like this split push Magius. I think it's smart. This is actually a fairly weak boss. It's unlikely that this is going to even take the keep wall. It will take the fort because of the Sylvanas, but oh, so that was actually really good that it interrupted your mosh because it was unlikely to hit anybody, and now you'll have it for the next fight. So Magius, you're doing great. I really hope your team here has said you got to get out of dodge, and I hope that you do. But look at the value we got out of the camp, out of the objective. Yes, red team has a little bit of an advantage on the map because of this fort, but that was actually really good for blue team. So, Dimmy, I think we've all had moments like that where we're like, yeah, I'm going to Lornado everyone off this point. I'm going to use Gust. I'm going to use all sorts of stuff. It could be loudspeakers on ETC. We've all had that thought. But 1v5, it rarely ends out well for us, right? Okay, so just like we talked about at level 10, look at the level 20s. Right now, we do have Stuck in a Loop with Chromie. Um, so there's a chance for the blue team to take the fight. Red team, you want to be very careful because we don't have a double cleanse unless we use both Purge from Rhaegar and whatever Crystallize, I think is her ice block, on May. And so or cryo freeze. We want to be careful about that temporal loop, and we don't really want to fight before 20. We're so close to 20. The objective is going to take 50 seconds to cap. So as the red team, we don't necessarily want to fight. As the blue team, however, Ancestral is down. I realize you might not be counting cooldowns, but hopefully we saw that Ancestral went out and we can use that. Gust is up. Light Bomb is up. Mosh is up. We got everything. So as the blue team, we want to take the fight pre-20 because this is our chance to potentially get ahead on Storm Talents and be able to take fights up numbers or up Storm Talents if we can win a fight here. Yeah, that was early. She's back and she's dead. So blue team, very good. The Mosh is great. The interrupt by May, fantastic. They correctly, from the red team, just decided to blast the Anduin. So anytime that if I am the Sonya, if I was the Illidan, if I was the May, like Anduin's my kill target because no one can save Anduin the way that Anduin can save everyone. Now, as the red team, we have healer advantage. We don't have the range advantage, but we have the healer advantage, which means we win slow fights here. So soaking for 20, not a bad thing, but we're also giving time for Anduin to come up. We had Ancestral. I would love to have seen you. Well, don't tell me spoilers yet, Dimmy. I don't know about all 3 games. But I would love to have seen our red team continue to be aggressive because, yes, we got 20s in advance, but we could have won slow fights between the sustain that all 4 heroes bring. All right, Ghost Dog as a tank, you are currently hitting for 165 damage, it says, per auto. Yeah, 165. So rather than autoing as you were, I would much rather see you either here in this bush or up here in this bush, preventing the invade. Sylvanas, when you join, you're the only ranged hero, so you sit in this bush to provide that vision, excuse me. All right. I know I said the camps are important. I don't actually love that camp take red team because we're already level 20. We don't need the experience. We just took a boss, and we didn't push with the boss, and the yeah, Chromie got annihilated there. So blue team, our biggest issue here is that we're fighting 4v5. So we're gonna back up a second and see how we got into that fight. So we know they're capping, and we walked into it. Alright, so we started with Inner Fire, Light Bomb, which is great. but that disengage made it turn into a 2v5 there, and Dimmy just gets run down. So extra X, if you're going to split push, one, make sure that it's good with the team. Right here, don't fly back in, because unfortunately you will probably not save anybody unless you commit gust, and even then it's tough. I would have rather that you continued pushing and rip down this wall, for example. The camp's up here, and we have numbers. There we go. Invading the camp is okay, but let's talk about good, better, best. We have a power advantage. Either one, cap the objective, or two, just siege. So let's see, that's Koteb. Talents, do I think there's any bad talents? Not really here. This one's fine. This is for trying to split push as Dahaka. I wouldn't have mind seeing isolation either, but I don't think this is bad. Zephman, that was another great shot. Dark Lady's Call being very good. Zephman's getting some big punishes out with the Dark Lady's Call. So Falstad, I would have loved to have seen you go Secret Weapon since you're in auto attack build, but I don't think Charge Strikes is bad, and I actually like Lightning Rod build against Illidan. Light Bomb was really good against the red team, mainly because Salvation was really tough. Spin to win build. This talent is tough, but it's fine. I don't know that Ghost Dog you needed Flash Freeze just because Mei was so tanky all game anyway. You could have gone either the big one, which gives you the huge hits on your Q, or you could have even gone Avalanche upgrade, which I can't remember the name of it, but it throws out the blinding snowballs around it and creates a bunch of slows there. We could have gone with the Nexus Blades here, and Falstad I would have liked to have seen Mighty Gust. It's certainly not a requirement. Nexus Frenzy is fine, but I feel like Mighty Gust might have saved us a little bit there. So, so Dimmy, Blue 4 is a good talent, and people love it because you get the extra spell power, you get the piercing on it. It pairs really well with Censure at level 20 that gives you the stuns, but this literally tells us how many times you hit the double root all game, which is 3. I am a huge proponent of Surge of Light, which is the cooldown reduction on the roots, so it's worth checking into on that one. But ultimately, neither are a bad talent. Play what you like. But I don't really see anything bad. Renew can be super powerful, but it is kind of tough because you got to get in those autos to really get the extra healing going. Showstopper is actually my least favorite talent on the tier, but that doesn't mean it's a bad talent either, and it does mean that you get, instead of 2 seconds of armor, you get 4, and instead of 20, you get 35. I think that ETC could use a small nudge in power. Oh, dang it, I just hit the stinking button again, didn't I? Good news, I knew how to get back to it really quick this time. Sorry, I have macros on the side of my keyboard and I didn't use them for years. I've only started using them lately, and sometimes I just hit the wrong one. Light bomb's a great pick. So, um, the kill potential of red team came through between the hunt and the leap and the mind control and even the avalanche and just the sustain of those fights. It made it very difficult for Anduin. We needed probably more defensive tools for the team on blue team. Stuff that I could recommend might be isolation, might be mighty gust, and slowing sands isn't even bad. Um, but temporal loop gave us some kill potential. We just needed to figure out how to come together on that kill potential and go. So I like Light of Stormwind. I don't think it's a bad talent, but the other team, everyone but Rhaegar had the ability to interrupt it. And let's see, May and Sonya had it on their base kit, and Sylvanas with Dark Lady's Call at 20. It's such a low cooldown there at 15 seconds that it's basically a basic ability at that point, or it's essentially a basic ability. So for red team, you lost, or excuse me, for blue team, you lost this one. Stuff to work on is make sure we're fighting with even numbers, and let's be aware of our talents as far as when the other team is hitting level 20, when the other team is hitting level 10, because red team just ripped it. Red team, big takeaway that I would say for you guys is if you get a kill, just go kill a building. We invaded a camp late game. We don't need it. We had Sylvanas, Sonya, and Illidan, and even Rhaegar, who are all fantastic siegers. So as soon as we kill somebody and we've got some numbers, just rip down the closest building. I suppose if the closest building is 15 seconds away, then maybe we don't. But if the closest building is 2 seconds away, rip down that building. I don't care if it's a tower. I don't care if it's a gate. I don't care if it's the whole fort. Just, we got to kill. If so long as we're not bleeding out, rip down the building. So, all right. So, I am in voice channels with a couple of you. And so you are, if you have any questions that you would like to ask me in voice, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I'm going to find the next replay and load it up. Okay. Yeah, week one it's totally normal to have some nerves going into it. So I think that there was some great stuff all around. Let's see. Where is... All right. All right, this is our next Alterac pass replay. This is lobby B. So we're going to pause for a second. We're going to start pinging some of our nerd friends here. All right. Apollo. Zenren. Dragon. I'm pretty sure it was this person. Moogle. And Wraithling. Got it. Viselli. And if I'm pronouncing anybody's names wrong, please feel free to message me a pronunciation guide. I have zero hurt feelings about that. Your name is your name, and I want to make sure I get it right. And lovely orchid. What is Lovely Orchid's Discord handle? Their Discord handle starts with the letter Q. Okay. Ooh, I have just a little bit of water. I need to get more water because I talk a lot, and that means that my mouth gets really dry. So give me just one moment, chat. But this will be a nice little shutter point for when I'm trying to edit and post all the VODs. All right, Clapper, we're back. Hydrate is important, and it's a rather warm day here along the Wasatch Front, though I hear tomorrow is going to be record breaking, but that might just be some radio trying to make me think they're important. Oh, ad break. Ad break. Waiting to start the review. So for those of you who don't watch ads, welcome. My name's Valcomer. I am one of the leaders of Can't Counterpick Stupid. We are a North American group of players. Sometimes you'll hear us refer to Mega Team. We we get teased a lot that we're not a real org, which is fine. So we didn't start out to become an organization. We just were nerds playing a video game, and we used to struggle to get even 10 people for a lobby sometimes. And then things started to build, and eventually we ran a couple small tournaments, and then we kicked off Nexo. So um, the Nexomania Development League, that is what we're watching tonight, is in its 5th season. Nexomania, the big season, is going into its 8th season. Well, I should say season 8. It's the 9th season because this is Heroes of the Storm. So we had a season 6.5. Got to keep the meme going. And I think RTN, which is Road to Nexomania, has had 3, 4, 5. All right, I believe the ad break is done. People in the Twitch chat, let me know if the ad break has ended. Waiting for the messages in the chat. 30 seconds. Okay. So we're still waiting for the ad break. But yeah, then when lockdown happened, Nexomania kind of exploded and reached its peak. Probably 2021 was the peak of Nexomania. We were running development days. We then started into Nexomania Development League, and I feel like we've been a force for good. I don't know how big of an impact we've had, but we've tried to make it a great place to be for lots of folks. So again, let me know, Twitch chat, when the ads have ended, and we will kick off this second match. This is Lobby B from Nexomania Development League last night. All right. Ads are done. Thanks, everybody. I will try to watch for said ad thing. And now let's get going. All right. I suppose I should come over here and I should unpause. So, many of you may not know, Garrosh is a signature hero for me. I've known Wraithling for a long time, so I am super interested here. Now, I will also say Stitches holds the matchup advantage over Garrosh because Stitches can take 2 unstoppables and generally has enough health that he doesn't really mind getting tossed. So I'm interested to see. Patchwork Creation is a great choice against a Garrosh as well because you get the additional healing and potentially the armor from it. So Q build with Garrosh. I like Wraithling here. I like that you're just kind of hanging out, making sure there's no shenaniganry going. Now for our 2 teams, Garrosh needs to hit Q stacks, Jaina needs globes, that's the quest there. For Dahaka just needs to kill minions to build up that enhanced agility. Oh, the toss there, was it? Oh, I forgot to change my overlay again. So as soon as we weren't getting something, blue team, we saw Probius top. As soon as something wasn't happening right away, I would have liked us to split off more. Amateur opponent, we see Dragon going towards the camp. I like that. Okay. We probably don't need 2 people up here against the Probius. I feel like, generally speaking, the Junkrat can handle Probius just fine. So, let's see, who is my Sylvanas? So, no more heroes. This is the correct choice against Garrosh. As a Garrosh player, I hate when I see this because the percentage damage and the slows. Garrosh can use his unstoppable, yes, but I don't want to use my unstoppable just for the 15% slow. But that 15% slow is super annoying. Yeah, Anduin's not a frontline hero there. So Garrosh said get back. See, and right there, Wraithling chose not to toss because there really wasn't the damage ready to get the Stitches down. That was a fine defensive toss out. So often as Garrosh we want to throw in, and I am guilty of this as well, but tossing an engaging hero out after they've used their engage means that now they can no longer threaten my damage or my healing. Moogle, I feel like you probably could have stepped up there and taken that globe. Yeah, Moogle's out. Never mind. Oh, Moogle. Unfortunate. Alright. So, Moogle, we saw the Stitches played by Vaseli. What I would like for you to do next time, hooks can't go through walls, so just don't run away at an angle that he can reach you without taking tower shots like crazy. So run down here, run up here. He can go through here, but as soon as it hits this wall, it doesn't pierce anymore. And so you would get away. Now, you didn't die. It's not a problem, but it's just something small to look at while playing against a Stitches. Also playing against a Kerrigan. If you ever hear me, if I'm streaming and you hear me say orbital patterns, that's because that's how you get away from a Kerrigan, because she always looks for linear patterns, and so if instead you do orbital patterns, you avoid her. And same thing with Stitches. Alright, we've got an experience lead, big minion lead for Dahaka, or big experience lead, and I assume most of it came from minions. So blue team, we need to be very careful about Soak. Cypher, I know, has played a lot of offlane. Cypher's actually been a former teammate of mine, and so he was filling in this lobby because we were missing a player, and he is abusing the ability to be in the off lane. Very smart hook there by Stitches. If you had been standing just a couple pixels to the right, he would have been hooked into here. But because you were right here, the closest spot I could drop him was here. Good job. Just throw out those hooks, particularly if we took Serrated Edge and we've got that cooldown reduction. Yeah, Stitches loves killing frontline. Don't be afraid to gorge a frontline. Don't be afraid to hook a frontline. It's okay. And particularly where we have several slows that can proc the overwhelming affliction for him, like, we got no problem killing the frontline. Oh, we went for the god swap. Alright, so good news, you got the door shut. Bad news, Probius is just kind of having a heyday up here. Yeah, right here. See, and there, what we just talked about, where you wanted to be slightly over, you actually made that correction and did it. So this is now extremely scary for blue team, even if Probius isn't here, because your biggest meat shield is missing. Apollo is doing a great job. Oh, I think blue team gets this. Your second greatest meat shield is Artanis, and he doing work. So in this scenario, the correct option, Zenren, is to run bottom. Artanis is doing his job by sacrificing himself there. The good news is we get the objective. That's going to mitigate a lot of the damages we have here. And Probius is just being Probius, split push. So there will be times where this is going to sound a strange way to put it, but we look at a fight as acceptable losses. If we're going to lose the tank but gain the objective, that's acceptable losses. But we want to talk about that, and as soon as we can, we want to cut those losses. So we knew that Artanis was sacrificing himself. At that point, we just got to go. Anduin, you're really close again. Orbital patterns, orbital patterns, orbital patterns. That was a super gutsy swap. I don't love it, but thankfully the hook gets you out. And Walter, the water elemental, just saved people. That was huge. So let's see. Apollo, that water elemental was money. Moogle, you've got a tough scenario here. You've got to be able to use your AE as much as possible to get the damage out. Lovely Orchid. Probius is my favorite Protoss, and I hate Protoss, but I like Probius. And you are doing a great job of being the annoying split pusher. I will say, Probius is actually a way better team fighter than a lot of people give him credit for. And Probius is listed as a he, even though, I mean, he's a robot and it should be it. But, alright, good collapse, blue team. Just make sure that the Rhaegar overextension gets punished. Now, just like in the previous game, we get a kill. We needed to take some structures or something. No more heroes. I like the constant pressure you're building here because that's making it very difficult for our blue team to be able to get push going, even though they got a kill. Oh, Junkrat, you're toast. There's nothing you could do there, unfortunately. I'm going to back this up for just a second. My kids and I call Probius the mechanical goldfish. That's from years ago when my kids were much younger. Alright, so we lost vision here. This is not wholly a Junkrat mistake. Team, we want to make sure that Junkrat knows, hey, we don't see him. And Junkrat, if we don't see him and we don't have a fort to retreat to, we want to be more careful. But in all things, it is we win as a team, we lose as a team. So right now, the increasing macro pressure of the red team is becoming a force that we are having difficulty dealing with as the blue team. So our Tannis is not necessarily a macro healer. Oh, we got some good combo there between the taunt silence and the light bomb. Oh, Saber, that was a great unstoppable Wraithling. Great move there. Oh, the Blood Craze. Oh, you haven't taken Blood Craze. The Bloodthirst hit. Blood Craze is my favorite 13. All right, at this point, so a lot of things that people, or one thing that I've noticed that people don't talk about on Alterac Pass is they love to say, oh, it's this macro map, it's this macro map. I would argue that it can absolutely be a team fight map because the objective becomes so strong that if you team fight well, eventually the objective will siege for you. But we have definitely seen the macro capabilities of the red team overwhelming the blue team. No slight on Artanis. I am not an Artanis hater. You're not talking to Raven X here. Artanis can be great. However, he is so single lane oriented. He has super difficulty in ever trying to double soak. And so even with amateur opponent, he is struggling to get through this. Depending on the scenario, it might have actually been a time to take Protector of Ire, because eventually you have the PvP damage and the PvE damage. Oh, and the swap. Great silence. That taunt was big. We get the kill. Oh, Probius should die too. Stitches actually did more to help Artanis there than hinder him. So blue team, just take the camp. It's bugged and not showing on my screen, but just take the camp. Yeah. So again, as a potential team fight map, because the objective is so good. All right, Dragon, you're trying to do the God swap, and I don't mind you trying it, particularly in custom games. But it's also okay to just have traditional swaps too, and not only God swaps. Wraithling makes it out. Zenren, one thing to think about with Anduin alongside a Garrosh. So shields are extremely powerful with armor. Level 1 on Anduin does grant a shield on your Divine Star as it goes forward. Is it Divine Star? Yeah, it's... Yes, Divine Star is the name of it. We call it Magic Carpet on our team. So it's... I'm not saying don't take the Lightwell. I think Lightwell's fine. But perhaps consider with armor-based heroes, ETC, Garrosh, I'm trying to think of who else can be armor-based, Arthas with Icebound Fortitude. You can consider that as a potential option because of the value. So Garrosh, you'll see he has, oh, that was big. Garrosh has defensive measures, so if he lands a Q on a hero, you're going to see a big shield. So the shield doesn't count against his armor up, but it does give him extra health. So because the armor gives you additional effective health, and the shield does not reduce double up or armor up, now you get additional effective shield or effective health with it. So it's just kind of a fun thing there. So right now, blue team, even talent tiers, we we want to fight because we're a team fight, blow them up comp. And the map state is fairly even. It's a little bit slanted towards red team. Red team, we're a macro comp with a pick potential between Gorge and Wailing Arrow. And so we want to, like, Cypher right here is doing really well. We want to create pressure that they have to react to so that they can't take team fights. So right now that choice is go for the top. Yeah, if we committed dig, we need to be in there. This wave, I didn't pay attention beforehand. I suppose I could replay. But this wave, all it's really doing is telling the team where our Stitches is. We don't want to be there, Vaseli. We want to be here or here. Because right now, I did not mean to click the Anduin there. Oh, holy crap. The Junkrat. So they got the steal. All right, Wraithling, great taunt. Let's see, Moogle, big Junkrat concussion mine. And who's my Rhaegar again? Meteo, you almost had everything as the Rhaegar there. The one thing that you could have potentially committed there on the Rhaegar is the Purge Cleanse to keep them from getting the boop. All right, we're going to back up for a second. Someone said a big Junkrat play and my auto mod didn't like it. Alright, I didn't back up enough. Or I get distracted with my auto mod. Alright, so we're going to go back quite a bit here. Alright, so red team, or we're on only the vision for the blue team. So red team, boom. Watch the map here. So Stitches disappears. We see where Stitches went. Dahaka disappears. Then we show again. So red team, right here. If we had had Stitches, perhaps here. If we had a Probius thing here and we just let the wave go, they don't get to pull this off. Vaseli, if you watch this, you have Gorge up. So we get up here. We don't know Anduin's there because we don't have the vision. We now see Anduin. As soon as we see him, I want you to gorge the Garrosh. So he was able to get his unstoppable, but if we had gorged him, we would have capped and it wouldn't have been as deadly to us. So very well played, blue team. Red team vision actually fixes that one. And we know either, hey, we got to fight, or we've got to finish the boss quick. But even the damage that Stitches put into the wave, if he had put that damage into the boss, we would have capped it. But if he had been able to provide vision rather than clearing, that could have been a game changer as well. Playtime. Playtime is my favorite level 4. Yeah, red team's going. Alright, so I'm saying red team and I mean blue team, sorry. Blue team, thought shift here. We take the boss, we get 3 kills. 3. The boss got the wall. Next time, I would like us to move forward with the boss and perhaps even get the keep down. Because this bottom boss, yes, it's going to take the bottom fort, but it's not going to do much else besides distract. Now, blue team, I don't want you to split very much here. I would rather see Artanis clearing the mid wave and staying close, but I believe the blue team gets this objective. Oh, Death Wish. Wraithling's just ready for murder. Yeah, so the red team's not contesting, and so we're okay, but I would have liked to have seen us split less. And red team, I know you're trying to get 20, and I think abusing the fact that you have Dahaka up here is great. That was a really good defensive light bomb. Alright, Wraithling, it was a good attempt. Sadly, you did miss the mortal combo and that hurt. Oh, Zenren, you might be dead. Alright, so anybody who remembers the Mists of Pandaria intro video, there is a line where, let's see, it might be Chen, it might be Terranzu, I don't really remember. Oh, my son is calling me. Hold on. All right, I gotta go pick up my son. He finished up here. So in the video, they say it's not why do we fight, it's what's worth fighting for. So right there, as soon as we capped, unless we really thought we were getting a kill, now we were trying to get Anduin out, but we just wanted to back up as the blue team because the red team wanted to try to kill us before the objective spawn. This might be game for the blue team. I don't know the length of the replay, but this might be game. 2 kills. Alright, so the math here, I'll have to find my Reddit post where I did the math. But blue team, you don't want to waste time on this fort. You want to instead get in there and try to kill Probius or Sylvanas, because the amount of health on this fort, being 15,000, outweighs the additional armor that's provided here. And so yes, 40 armor, that means we're going to have to put quite a bit of damage into it, but not 20,000 damage more that the fort started with. And so instead, we just are looking for a kill and pushing rather than letting them clear bottom while we try to get others. Because now what has happened is we're chasing the Dahaka. We get the kill, but we chased the Dahaka and we didn't end, and we let Rhaegar and Stitches respawn, which is a potential issue. And now Probius has heals, and Probius has frontline to protect him. If Anduin doesn't die, red team, you made a mistake. So no more heroes. I didn't watch up above, but I assume you had it. You should have been on that silence a little bit earlier, because we could have potentially silenced out of the light bomb even happening. Oh, the double ancestral doing work. Oh, but he still goes down. All right, blue team, now the math is in your favor to kill the keep and then move forward. But originally it was not. Alright, blue team. No. Don't back up. The objective is a bait. The objective is the only way you could possibly lose the game. So the objective allows Stitches to respawn. The boss allows Stitches to respawn. We had 5v4 and waves. So backing up here is the only thing that lets the red team back in the game. Blue team, if you lose the game, this is the moment. I don't know who wins. I've not paid attention to that. Blue team should still win. However, we don't want to kill them with a spoon. We want to kill them with a swift strike to just end it right away. And in fact, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I need to pick up my son. Alright, so the first boss um, is going to create some damage here. For the love of all that is good and holy, blue team, you should be pressing forward because we don't want... So right now, all of the damage that the first boss did has regenerated or is regenerating. Okay, if we get the full 50-second channel, the objective will likely end the game. Red team, you need to be running at blue team and killing someone because that's your only chance to get back in this game. Passivity in this case is a choice, and it's a choice that will lose you the game. Stitches survives. Dahaka gets a big ISO. Oh, Garrosh dies. Yes. Red team needs to close the door. Red team needs to close the door. Gets another kill on Rhaegar. Kill on Jaina. Oh, if Dragon finishes this, this is amazing. All right. Red team appropriately responded. Dragon does not get to be the last Samurai Protoss thing. Blue team, if you lose, you shouldn't have. Probius is a little jerk. Artanis showed him who's boss. Red team, oh, I see, you're having Rhaegar clear and moving forward. Oh, Sylv gets toasted. Blue team's gonna win off of Winions. Yeah, Stitches is down. The Winions are gonna start doing damage big time. Yeah, blue team's won the game. But you scared me, blue team. Alright, we got another ad break in progress. I do need to go get my son. Whew. There was definitely opportunities to hit the gas where we hit the brakes that would have ended the game for the blue team. Red team, there was opportunities to provide vision that would have changed how certain fights played out, and that would have been a big deal. I need to run to go pick up Little Valk, and that will probably be my last replay for the evening. I will try to get another replay later this week.